What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Mark here with the Better Mark. Let's get back into it. Friday, happy Friday, July 19th. We're gonna get the first round of the Major League Baseball betting card before we get into the second half of the season post All-Star break. This is what I got going for you guys. We have a lot of games going on this card. This is one where we're gonna kind of ease our way back in it. Just kidding, we're going full out into it. I have three best bets, but unit sizes will be a little bit smaller, on the smaller side, just till we get a feel of where everybody's at. It's not good logic or a strategy to use kind of the place where we left off before the All-Star break, okay? Basically, a lot of these guys have been getting drunk and hanging out with friends and family and hitting the reset button, the ones that did not make the All-Star game, for almost a week. I mean, they stay fresh in the cage. You know, you're still getting bullpens. You're still getting a little bit of a live, kind of a live simulation, but it's still not anywhere near what goes down, okay? So it is kind of interesting to see what happens. I am going to get into kind of my three best bets, but we are going to talk about a lot of the games on the card. I'll break them all down for you guys in this video. But I do want to tell you guys I am away. Apparently all my friends are getting married this year, so another bachelor party. But this is one where I was up last night looking at these games. We were talking about it and going through some of the information. And I'm fairly confident with these three best bets. Actually, one I ended up betting last night in full disclosure, so that number has shifted down on a total from 8.5 to down to 7.5 with some juice. So hopefully we have enough room where we can get back into those numbers in terms of the juice on that 8, but we will get into that bet. That'll be a little bit later. It's on the West Coast, and let's get down into it. So as always, guys, appreciate you guys. I'm excited for the second half of the season. Make sure you subscribe down below, smash that like button, and let's get down into it, okay? So let's dive into the OddsJam. And guys, if you're not using OddsJam, make sure you all click my link down below. Sign up today for 30% off an annual and or your first month, whatever plan you like to sign up with. But as we get closer into football season, when you use fantasy, daily fantasy, OddsJam is a truly invaluable tool. Saves me a lot of time, especially if you're last minute trying to get something in. It really does help in finding the best odds available. Kind of takes the guesswork out, and I'm happy to use it for you guys in my videos just to give you a sneak peek and show you kind of what I do on a day-to-day basis, okay? But the first game on the card, we are going to have a bet. This is going to be Justin Steele hosting Ryan Nelson. Justin Steele has been fantastic, kind of that second quarter of the Major League season. For me, this is something where it's going to be a Cubbies bet, but we are not taking them and trusting the bullpen. We're going to be minus 105 money line on that first 5, okay? So that's kind of where we're getting. That's where I found the best odds out there. Bet MGM, okay? So that's kind of what OddsJam does, right? If you want to not have to log into 5,000 accounts, you can just go right to kind of what bet you like. I like the first half money lines, and we're going to look for the best number, and that was MGM. Lights up green, takes all the work out of it, boom, click it, and then you're in. All right, but that's where we're going to be at. I like Justin Steele. Don't trust the Cubs bullpen, so first bet of the day will be the Cubs on the first 5 money line. Next game out there, we have Aaron Nola traveling into Pittsburgh. This game's a little sneaky, right? Everything about this game says we should just be banging the Phillies. We're seeing a little bit of buyback, okay? Phillies have been bought down from minus 150, now kind of settling down at minus 140 on the money line. Phillies on the road, completely different ball club if you look at the numbers, some of the metrics, okay? But for me, this is a sneaky Pirates money line. If you guys want some crazy action, maybe even look Pirates plus 1.5 at a minus 124 price. But I have no problem putting a little bit of a sprinkle on Pirates on the money line. And I can tell you guys, if you guys want to fade the public, I'm at this bachelor party, and everybody and their brother here likes the Phillies. So I'm just going to tell you it's a very, very public play, and I'm not going to bet against a group, and that's why it's not an official play. But at plus 140, this is definitely where to be at in terms of value, okay? And yeah, the Phillies are kind of one of the class teams of Major League Baseball. They can come out and wreak havoc in Pittsburgh, but for me, it's just kind of looking me and seeing the buyback from minus 150 down to minus 140, that opening number, that's enough to give me that confirmation that I think my head's in the right spot, okay? The next game is another dog that I like taking, right? Patrick Corbin. I know he's 1-9 on the season, but Patrick Corbin for the Nationals, something where I was interested in taking that. A little bit of action, getting that number as low as plus 110 there for the Nationals. It's going to be a lot of runs, I feel like, in this game. So I would lean more so taking Nationals money line and or taking the over 8.5. I think that's a little too low of a number. But some of the totals are going to be a little bit fishy until we get moving, get the ball rolling, see where we're at within kind of the rest of the season to see kind of how the numbers line up. So this is a pass for me. Tampa in New York, Zach Eflin and Garrett Cole. We have a minus 163 price for the Yankees. I'm not opposed to taking the Yankees on the money line. I know it's a big number. if I was going to give you guys a lean, it would be definitely taking the -1.5 for the Yankees, kind of get that plus number. I think that they can be able to handle the Rays at home and get done with margin. Garrett Cole got a little bit of a rest. I think he's going to have a nice repeat outing, 2-1 on the season since returning from injury. So we'll see what happens with the Bronx Bombers. All right. Another dog I like is the Tigers. Okay, Tigers traveling to Canada, playing the Toronto Blue Jays, plus 107 on the money line. Jack Flaherty, will he be traded? Will he be not? Both of these pitchers kind of are very similar in nature, but for me, this is one where I would lean towards taking the Tigers. Kind of wondering where Toronto's head's going to be at with these games leading up till the trade deadline. They're going to be sellers in the market, I believe, but this is a Tigers or nothing bet for me, so lean towards the Tigers. All right, next game is Mets and Marlins. Mets don't have a pitcher listed. Mets -125 going against Edward Cabrera. That's a juicy price. It's a little bit tempting. 7-10 first pitch. I would lean towards taking the Mets, but I just don't like betting games without a starting pitcher, so that's kind of where I'm at, why I'm going to pass on that game. And then let's get down to the ever so important, the 5 all-star driven Cleveland Guardians, right? My home squad. Tanner Beebe going against Matt Waldron. This is surprising not. I'm not going to bet it, but this is a lean towards the Guardians. Okay, I think that they're, one of the surprising teams. My climate has kind of shifted on them. I was leaning towards the end of the aisle where I just basically was fading them. Like I tell you guys in my videos that I had them basically pegged as third in the AL Central to come home in that pennant race. Okay, but within the Cleveland Guardians, until I flash that button and tell you guys there's a little bit regression coming down, that's kind of where we're going to be back in the Guardians still. I know the Padres are kind of one of my bets to make the playoffs. I like that kind of second half surge that we may get from them. So strong lean towards the Guards. I like BB -140, getting it done at home. And I do like runs in this game, so over 7.5 is kind of juicy as well. Not playing the Braves St. Louis game. If anything, I will go Braves team total, go over. I'm fading Sonny Gray. I think the Braves might have got some nice rejuvenation from the All-Star break, so that's kind of where I'm at within that. 7:20 first pitch from Truist Park. Love Truist Park, great ballpark, probably one of my favorite kind of environments for game day within the major league ranks. So that's kind of where we're at in that. My next pick that I'm going to be telling you guys is kind of another play on the total. I do have 3 totals as my best bets. This is where we're going to go. The Orioles and Texas Rangers. I think we're going to try to sneak one by them and go under 8.5. That's kind of where I'm at within this game. You can see it right here on the card. It's the best number you can find is an 8. Like I was telling you guys, these numbers were all half points higher later last night, but you can find 8.5. Shop around for that best price. It's worth paying the hook in my opinion. All right. And this is where you got Corbin Burns and Nathan Eovaldi. Baltimore is kind of struggling in the second half. I know they got that last win against New York in walk-off fashion, but now they traveled on the road. They probably stayed here, some of the guys, and the team met up with them possibly, as they are going to be at Globe Life Field once more. There was a lot of all-stars in the ranks from the Orioles. And I think that's something where, we might see a little carryover effect. I think that there might be a little bit sluggish. I don't trust the Rangers' bats. And I think that we can kind of sneak one by them on this under 8.5 with these 2 pitchers going. Just kind of where I'm at. And let's see if Corbin Burns can lock up the Cy Young for the AL and conclude that second half of the season. So that will be actually a 4th bet. I forgot to put that one on my sheet, but I did bet this one last night. So that's kind of where I'm at. White Sox and Royals. This is where we're going to have another play towards the under. We like the under 9 here. Michael Wacha going against Chris Flexen. I think that you can play the Kansas City money line as well, and I think the Kansas City Royals will get away with possibly even covering the run line, but I do favor the under 9, -119 with Michael Wacha on the bump. I just worry about Chicago scoring in this spot, and in Kansas City, they struggle to score as well, so I don't trust them on the money line or run line, but I'm not opposed to it. It's a fade against Flexen, fade against the White Sox, so it's going to be KC all day, and definitely locking in that under 9 as my best bet. Okay, San Francisco and Colorado, not playing it. Rockies at home, lean towards the under, but we have lean towards the over, but we don't have an official pitcher listed in this game. You can find 10s out there, bet MGM. That's kind of where I'm at within this one, but nothing enough to make me want to just lock anything in for this later start here in Coors Field. All right, and we do have 3 games left on the card. Angels Athletics, we are not betting Oakland for or against. They are my no bet list. It's just too volatile. You can see them in the last series. They put up 15 to 20 runs against a perennial kind of juggernaut, and then they can go out the same day and have 20 put against them. So a little too much variance within the Oakland Athletics. So I have them on my no bet list for the time being. I think when they get down to selling the franchise and relocating or whatever they're doing, that's going to be a lot of confusion, I think, and really take away from the day-to-day operations, just getting victories and competing out there. I think they're going to be sellers at the deadline. Who knows? But, that's something where the only thing they got going for them, in my opinion, is unbelievable all-star they had. Probably the livest arm in baseball. Forgive me, I haven't had my full cup of coffee, so I'm drawing a blank on his name. I think but nonetheless, he's actually went to college a little bit from me in a very small, I think it's a JUCO or a Division III school. So great story coming out of that one with Mason Miller. All right, and then we have 2 games remaining. This is where we're going to be backing this number that has already moved, but the under 8, shop around for that one as well in the Astros Mariners. Hunter Brown has been fantastic kind of in that second half. I do think the Mariners were supposed to start Luis Castillo. We'll see who they wheel out there. Let me pull this up. Let me do a little quick Google search. Maybe he got scratched, which does happen maybe. You are going to see a little bit of this kind of happen, especially around the trade deadline. Maybe not in his situation. I know he is possibly on the trading block, but we'll see. Now it's saying to be determined. When I started this video, he was up and live in my on my data sheet, so we'll see what happens. 10-10 first pitch, T-Mobile Park. I do like the under, but this will be contingent on Castillo pitching for the Mariners. I don't know who they would bump up in their place, so just mind you, if you guys are keeping track of my record and all that, if we're going to lock this one in, I would make it contingent on Castillo pitching and make sure they don't wheel out some kind of staff day or just some rookie they call up from AAA. That's going to be an impact. But Mariners at home, love the under trend. That's where we're at within the under 8. Shop around, find that hook or find that juice to get up that 7.5 up to 8 and take that if you can find it out there in the market. But like I said, I'm locked in, but make sure you guys find a little bit of a contingency within who's actually starting pitching before you get any of those bets in, okay? And the last game on the card, we have the Dodgers and the Red Sox. I know there's some subscribers out there that just love blasting me for taking the Dodgers and Indians every day. I don't do that. I'm not doing it today, and that's fully evident by the fact that I'm fading the Dodgers in this spot. If you want to get on board of some reverse line movement, kind of that, all that, buying the steam down, I'm not chasing this one. As much as I'd love to get the Dodgers on a cheap price, it is something where we look at Nick Pivetta going into LA. You can see that this number has dropped considerably. I think the Dodgers were like a minus 140, minus 150 if I remember, and now they're sitting here at minus 133. So kind of where I'm at. If you do like the Dodgers, I'm not going to blame you. I always take the Dodgers at home. It's a great system that I used to play within run lines within the Dodgers. But in this game, they don't have a starting pitcher announced as well, but they... it's the Dodgers at home, but I'm staying away from it. I want to see what happens. I want to get Mookie Betts back in the lineup, but so that's kind of where I'm at within that best bet. So for me, it's going to be a fade in the late-night Dodgers-Red Sox game. It'll be a fun one to watch. I think that they were supposed to start... let me see, actually, one second. Sorry, guys. Let me see, actually, who they're going to wheel out here. Okay. Yeah, I think that he might have got scratched. But anyways, nonetheless, we'll see who's pitching. I might tweet about this later on in the evening. I do think this could be a live bet opportunity for me. We'll see how the first part of the card goes, and I do want to give you guys that quick recap. Here's where we're at with the 4 best bets. I forgot to add that one under, but we are going 3 unders. So looking for a little bit of dullness, a little bit of coming out flat. Pitchers will be sharp. That's kind of where we're at. Cubs first 5, KC under 9, Astros under 8, and the Orioles under 8.5. Make sure you guys are all using oddsjam. Shop around for the best number, and good luck with your bets. I'm sure you guys are all eager and chomping at the bit to get back into baseball. I am too. Can't wait. I'm kind of upset that I'm not at home with my setup so I can watch like 4 or 5 games, but great way to not do that is to hang out with friends and some family and enjoy some golf. So enjoy the weekend. Appreciate you all. Subscribe down below. Make sure you guys all check out channel memberships as well if you want to give back to the channel. $10 a month. Buy me a beer. That's kind of how I treat it. I don't charge for picks. So that's kind of what we have going in this direction. So appreciate you all. Remember to subscribe, like I said, and we'll see you guys all tomorrow. Cheers.